Encounter in the Crimson Forest. The Crimson Forest of Thalos 7 stretched endlessly before Finn Blackwood as his hover scout sliced through the thick undergrowth. Massive trees with blood-red leaves towered overhead, filtering the alien sunlight into eerie patterns on the forest floor. The air smelled of sweet decay and strange spices, scent Finn had grown accustomed to during his 3 weeks of exploration. Final sector scan initiated, announced the scout's AI in a monotone voice. Mineral deposits detected 2 kilometers east. Finn adjusted his course, the stubble on his jaw rough beneath his fingers as he scratched absently. Solo exploration suited him. No corporate oversight, no military protocols, just him and the endless frontier. After 10 years as a scout for the Terran Expansion Corps, he'd earned his independence. The scout burst into a clearing and Finn's heart jumped to his throat. A humanoid figure stood at the center, azure skin glistening with sweat, her long silver hair cascading down her back. She whirled toward him, eyes like liquid gold widening in terror. Behind her, the undergrowth exploded as 3 massive beasts charged into view. They resembled rhinoceros, but with 6 legs and razor-sharp tusks that glinted in the dappled light. Their hides were black as space, with bioluminescent blue veins pulsing beneath. Nexohounds, Finn breathed. Recognizing the genetically engineered predators used by the Vexian Confederacy to hunt their enemies. The woman's hand clutched something at her chest. A small object that seemed to pulse with inner light. A deep gash ran along her thigh, teal blood seeping from the wound. Finn didn't hesitate. He gunned the scout's engine, swerving between her and the charging beasts. "Get on," he shouted, extending his hand. For a heartbeat, she hesitated, those golden eyes assessing him with unexpected clarity, despite her fear. Then her hands, 6-fingered with iridescent webbing between, grasped his. Her skin felt cool against his, smooth like polished stone. Finn pulled her onto the scout, her slender body pressing against his back as her arms wrapped around his waist with surprising strength. "Hold tight," he called, twisting the throttle. The scout leaped forward just as the lead hound lunged, its tusk grazing the rear stabilizer with a screech of metal. "Ah! They're still coming!" she cried, her voice melodic, despite the fear lacing it. Finn spotted a ravine ahead and accelerated. "When I say now, lean left with me." The ravine approached rapidly, a 20-foot gap with a misty abyss below. Now, they leaned together as one, the scout sailing across the gap. Behind them, 2 hounds skidded to a stop, but the third attempted the jump. Falling short with a haunting howl, miles from the ravine, Finn finally slowed. "You okay?" he asked, turning to look at his passenger. The woman slowly unwrapped her arms from his waist. Up close, he could see intricate patterns that seemed to shimmer beneath her azure skin, following the contours of her face like luminous tattoos. "I am unharmed," she said carefully, as if testing each word. "You saved my life." "I thank you, Finn Blackwood," he offered with a smile. "And you are?" "I am Neva Starborn, last guardian of the Luminex," she replied, her golden eyes holding his. "And you, Finn Blackwood, have just made yourself an enemy of the most dangerous empire in the galaxy." Flight through the stars, the Wanderer broke atmosphere with a shudder. Finn's hands dancing across the worn control panel as warning lights flickered across the console. Behind him, Neva watched with fascination, her golden eyes reflecting the stars emerging from Thalos 7's twilight. "Your vessel is unconventional," she observed, running a 6-fingered hand along the bulkhead. Finn grinned. "She's not pretty, but she's got it where it counts." He patted the console affectionately. "Outran a Vexian cruiser in the Caspian Belt last year? Then we must hope she can do so again." Neva pointed to a blinking indicator. "They're following us." A sleek black ship rose from the planet's surface. Its hull absorbing rather than reflecting, light a stealth vessel designed for pursuit. The Vexian emblem, a stylized predator's eye, was emblazoned on its flank. "Orbital patrol," Finn muttered, pushing the Wanderer's engines harder. "They don't waste time. They cannot recover what I carry." Neva's hand went to her chest, where a small pouch hung from a silver chain. Inside, something pulsed with gentle light. "And what exactly is that?" Finn asked, plotting a course toward the asteroid belt at the system's edge. Before she could answer, the ship rocked violently. A warning klaxon sounded as Pax, the ship's AI, announced. Direct hit to port stabilizer. Shields at 60%. Hang on, Finn shouted, executing a tight spiral that sent them both pressing against their harnesses. The Wanderer responded beautifully, dancing between energy blasts as the Vexian ship pursued. Neva's fingers gripped the armrests, but her face remained calm. You pilot with unusual skill for a human. Unusual skill? Finn laughed despite the danger. I'll take that as a compliment. They plunged into the asteroid field, massive rocks tumbling slowly through the void. The Wanderer weaved between them, while the larger Vexian ship was forced to slow its pursuit. We've bought some time, Finn said, engaging the stealth systems. But not much. He turned to find Neva standing beside his chair, closer than he expected. The scent of her was intoxicating like night-blooming flowers in ozone. Her silver hair floated gently in the ship's artificial gravity, and Finn resisted the urge to touch it. Could have left me, she said softly. Yet you risked your life for a stranger. It's what humans do, Finn replied with a shrug. Neva stepped closer, her cool hand resting on his shoulder. In my culture, a life debt is sacred. I am bound to you now, Finn Blackwood. The intensity of her gaze made his pulse quicken. That's, really not necessary. Her lips curved in what might have been a smile. It is not obligation I speak of, but connection. Her fingers traced a pattern on his shoulder that left tingles in their wake. Your heart rate increases when I am near. Is it fear, or something else that causes this response? Finn swallowed hard. Definitely something else. A proximity alarm shattered the moment. Vexian vessel approaching, Pax announced. They are scanning this sector. Finn reluctantly turned back to the controls. We need a place to hide until we can make repairs. He studied the star chart. There's an abandoned mining outpost on Dymas 3. We can reach it before they find us. As he set the course, Neva's hand remained on his shoulder, her touch both alien and somehow familiar. Whatever she carried, whatever danger pursued them. Finn knew his life had irreversibly changed the moment he'd spotted her in that crimson forest. The sacred relic Deimos 3 hung like a tarnished coin against the velvet of space, its surface scarred by abandoned mining operations. Finn guided the Wanderer into a massive crater, powering down all non-essential systems to avoid detection. We should be safe here for a few hours, he said, unfastening his harness. Pox, run a full diagnostic on the port stabilizer. Diagnostic initiated, the AI responded. Estimated repair time, 4 hours. Finn turned to find Neva studying him, her golden eyes unblinking. You should rest, he suggested. There's a bunk in the rear compartment. A species requires little sleep, she replied. And there is much I must tell you. In the dim emergency lighting, her azure skin seemed to glow from within, the patterns beneath shifting like constellations. She reached for the pouch at her neck and carefully extracted a small object. It hovered above her. Palma crystalline teardrop that contained what looked like a miniature galaxy. Stars and nebulae swirling within its depths. The cabin filled with soft, pulsing light that matched the rhythm of a heartbeat. This is the heart of Luminex, Neva explained, her voice reverent. The last fragment of my homeworld's core, containing the collective consciousness of my ancestors. Finn stared, transfixed by its beauty. What does it do? It resonates with living energy, amplifying it. Her eyes met his. For millennia, my people used it to heal worlds devastated by cosmic events. We were peacekeepers, guardians, as she closed her hand around the crystal and the light dimmed. The Vexian Confederacy learned of its power. They believed it could be weaponized to control the minds of entire populations. Her voice hardened. They were correct. So you stole it back, Finn concluded. Liberated it, she corrected. There is a resistance, the stellar harmony. They await the heart at our sanctuary moon. With it, we can break the Vexian control over subjugated worlds. Finn ran a hand through his dark hair. And the bounty on your head? Substantial, she admitted. Enough to buy a fleet of ships like yours. The The silence between them grew heavy with implications. Finn could turn her in, claim the reward, never work another day in his life. The thought was there and gone in an instant, leaving him ashamed it had surfaced at all. "Not interested," he said firmly. Neva stepped closer, the heart returned to its pouch. "Your species fascinates me, Finn Blackwood. So young among the stars, yet capable of such selflessness." "Not all of us," he admitted. "But you." Her cool fingers traced his jawline, sending shivers down his spine. "You chose to help, without knowing the consequences." Their faces were inches apart now. Finn could see flecks of silver in her golden eyes, could feel her cool breath against his lips. "In my culture," she whispered, "we believe that souls recognize each other across lifetimes, across species. Perhaps that is why I trusted you in the forest." Finn's hand moved of its own accord, fingers threading through her silver hair. It felt like liquid silk against his skin. "Neva," he breathed, uncertainty and desire warring within him. The ship's alarm shattered the moment. "Proximity alert," Pax announced. "Unidentified vessel approaching." Finn reluctantly pulled away, moving to the scanner. His blood froze at the configuration displayed. "It's not Vexian," he said grimly. "Worse. Bounty hunter." Betrayal and sacrifice. The bounty hunter's ship docked with a metallic clang that echoed through the Wanderer's hull. Finn positioned himself between Neva and the airlock. His pulse rifle charged and ready. "Stay behind me," he instructed. Though he knew her species possessed strength that belied their slender frames. "You should surrender me," Neva said softly. "The hunter would spare you." Finn shook his head. "Not happening." The airlock cycled open to reveal a towering figure encased in articulated armor, face concealed behind a featureless helmet. The bounty hunter stepped aboard, movements fluid despite the bulky appearance. "Finn Blackwood," came a distorted voice. "Still playing hero after all these years?" The helmet retracted, revealing a woman with sharp features and a network of cybernetic implants along her scalp. A familiar face from a past Finn had tried to forget. "Tayla," he acknowledged. "Didn't recognize your new ship?" "Upgraded," she replied with a cold smile. Unlike some, her eyes flicked to Neva. "The Vexian Confederacy has placed a bounty of 20 million credits on the alien in her trinket." Her gaze returned to Finn. "I'm willing to split it. For old time's sake." 20 million? The number hung in the air between them. Enough to buy a new ship, a base of operations, security for life. "And if I decline?" Finn asked, knowing the answer. Tyla's smile vanished. "Then I take her anyway, and you get nothing but a quick death, if you're lucky." Neva stepped forward, despite Finn's attempt to keep her behind him. "I will go willingly if you guarantee his safety," she told Tayla. "No," Finn protested, but Neva silenced him with a look. "My life for yours," she said quietly. "A fair exchange?" Tayla laughed. "How touching, but unnecessary." Her hand moved to her weapon. "The Vexians want confirmation of your death anyway, alien. The bounty is the same either way." In the split second before Tayla fired, Finn saw her intention. He lunged, shoving Neva aside as energy scorched the air where she had stood. His shoulder erupted in pain as the blast grazed him. What happened next unfolded in heartbeats. Neva's form seemed to blur with speed, her movements impossible to track as she disarmed Tayla with terrifying efficiency. The bounty hunter crashed to the deck, pinned by strength no human could match. "You would kill for credits?" Neva's voice had changed, resonant with power that made the ship's lights flicker. The patterns beneath her skin pulsed with blinding intensity. "It's just business," Tayla gasped. Finn staggered to his feet, clutching his injured shoulder. "Neva, don't." The fury in her golden eyes faded at his voice. She released Tayla, stepping back. "Leave," she commanded. "Tell no one you found us." Tayla scrambled up, eyes wide with genuine fear. "What are you?" "Something your confederacy cannot comprehend," Neva replied. "Now go." When Tayla had retreated to her ship, Finn collapsed into the pilot's chair, his vision swimming from pain and blood loss. Cool hands cupped his face. You risked your life again, Neva whispered, her golden eyes searching his. For me, it's getting to be a habit? He managed to joke through gritted teeth. Her hands moved to his wound, and the heart of Luminex pulsed against her chest. A warmth unlike anything Finn had ever felt spread through his shoulder, the pain dissolving like mist in sunlight.
How did you?
He began, but fell silent as Neva's lips met his. The kiss was gentle at first, then deepened with an intensity that left him breathless. Her skin, cool against his, seemed to transmit emotions directly into his consciousness, gratitude, admiration, and something more profound that transcended language. When they finally parted, Finn knew with absolute certainty that no bounty in the galaxy could compare to what he had found. The Heart of Valor, the sanctuary moon of Helios, hung like a jewel against the gas giant it orbited. Its surface a tapestry of crystalline forests and silver lakes. Finn guided the wanderer through the upper atmosphere. Following coordinates Neva had provided, "It's beautiful," he murmured. Watching the alien landscape unfold beneath them, Neva stood beside him, her fingers intertwined with his. In the 2 weeks since their escape from the bounty hunter, their bond had deepened beyond what either had thought possible. Their differences, human and Luminex, had faded against the discovery of all they shared. "My people await us there," she said, pointing to a shimmering structure nestled between crystal spires. The last enclave of the stellar harmony. As they approached, a transmission crackled through the comm system. "Unidentified vessel. State your purpose." "I am Neva Starborn, guardian of the heart," she replied. "I have returned." A moment of silence, then verification confirmed. "Welcome home, Guardian." The landing was smooth, the wanderer settling onto a platform that seemed to be made of living crystal. As they disembarked, Finn felt a momentary unease. This was her world, not his. Would there be a place for him here? A delegation awaited them, being similar to Neva, but with variations in the patterns beneath their skin. They regarded Finn with curious golden eyes. An elder stepped forward, his azure skin faded to pale blue with age. "You have succeeded, Guardian," he said, bowing deeply. "And you bring a human ally?" "More than an ally," Neva replied, her hand finding Finn's again. "A bondmate who risked everything for our cause." Murmurs rippled through the gathering. The elder studied Finn with newfound intensity. "Then he is welcome among us." They were escorted to a chamber at the heart of the structure, a vast space where the walls seemed to pulse with the same energy as the heart of Luminex. Hundreds of Neva's people had gathered, their collective anticipation filling the air like static. "The moment has come," the elder announced. "Guardian, restore the heart to its rightful place." Neva removed the pouch from around her neck, extracting the crystal with reverent hands. It pulsed more brightly than ever, sensing its destination. She approached a pedestal at the chamber's center, where a hollow space awaited. Once placed, she explained quietly to Finn, "The heart will amplify our collective consciousness, breaking the Vexian control over subjugated worlds. But the process is not without risk," Finn understood. "You could be lost in the collective," her golden eyes held his. "Not if I have an anchor." She pressed her forehead to his, a gesture of deep intimacy among her people. "You are my tether to this existence, Finn Blackwood." "Hold me here." Before he could respond, alarms blared throughout the structure. The elder received a communication, his expression darkening. "Vexian warship approaching," he announced. "They have found us." Panic rippled through the gathering. Finn turned to Neva. "How much time do you need?" "Minutes at most, but we must be undisturbed." Finn nodded, decision made. "I'll buy you that time." He turned to the elder. "Do you have defenses?" "Limited," the elder admitted. "We are not warriors." "Then it's a good thing I am," Finn replied. He kissed Neva once, pouring everything he felt into that connection. "Place the heart. I'll handle the Vexians." Racing back to the Wanderer, Finn launched with emergency protocols, the ship responding to his urgency. The Vexian warship loomed in the upper atmosphere, weapons systems charging. "Well, Pax," he said to the ship's AI, "time to see what this old girl can really do." What followed was the most daring piloting of Finn's life. The Wanderer, outmatched and outgunned, danced around the massive warship, drawing fire away from the sanctuary below. Each maneuver brought him closer to destruction, but he needed only precious minutes for Neva to complete her task. When a direct hit crippled his engines, Finn knew he had one move left. He set a collision course for the warship's command center. The Wanderer's remaining power diverted to speed. "It's been a good run," he told Pax, as the distance closed. Suddenly, the space between vessels filled with blinding light. The Vexian ship froze in place, its weapons powering down, its very structure seeming to become translucent as energy coursed through it below. The sanctuary moon glowed like a newborn star. The heart of Luminex had been placed. As consciousness faded, Finn felt a presence in his mind. Familiar, beloved. Beloved, Miva's voice whispered in his thoughts. "I will not let you go." 3 days later, Finn awakened in a crystal chamber, Neva at his side. Her azure skin now contained new patterns, intricate and beautiful, marking her transformation. "You succeeded," he managed to say. "You succeeded," she corrected, taking his hand. "The Vexian fleet has withdrawn. Their control is broken, and us." He asked the question that had haunted him since they'd arrived. Neva's smile was radiant. "The stars are infinite, Finn Blackwood, and I would explore them all with you." She leaned in, her forehead touching his, in the gesture that now felt like coming home. "After all, the greatest adventure has only just begun."